live.
Perfect. We hope the sound is good. Otherwise, just make us a comment. We are live from Bali. I am Peter from Propertia, and beside me is the handsome guy called Joe.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
So the reason why we are going live today is because we have a lot of questions all the time regarding buying a property in Bali. But of course, we are also here just to answer questions regarding Bali in general.
Yeah. And if you have questions, write them in the comments. Please send them through. We are happy to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah. We will just wait for a little more people to join. But in general, we, what's the 50, Tita?
We have 54.
That's fantastic.
People.
We will start now then. Good. Joe, give us a 2024 resume.
2024, what happened?
What happened?
What happened? 2024 was amazing. 2020, wait, when did we? 2023, we only had 9 out of the 12 months open in Bali. 2024, we had a full year. It was the first year that the island was completely open. We had a target of 7 million foreign arrivals to come to Bali as tourists, which Bali achieved just about. The market was extremely busy. Bali was fantastic. Lots happening around the island. I think it was an amazing year. And I think everything was done to set up 2025 to be even more fantastic.
It's going to be amazing. I think for me and the team, 2024 was a fantastic year.
Yeah. Fun.
Fun.
A lot of fun.
Stressful, exhausting, but still a fantastic year. 2025, what's your predictions? I know you have done videos about this, but just what's your feeling, personal feeling about Bali, predictions for Propertia Bali, and if you're an investor looking to buy a property somewhere in the world, should they buy in Bali?
They should. You should always buy in Bali. Yeah, for predictions, we did a YouTube video which came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
10 days ago.
Yeah.
10 days ago, so you can see that. But 2025, our prediction is the market's going to be even more busy. Bali's become this global investment destination. I think for people around the world, things are not fantastic in Europe, not necessarily fantastic in America either. People are looking for good investments. Bali is solid in terms of a tourist destination. The target is to attract around 6.5 million foreign arrivals again this year, so it's a perfect time to invest. The market is very strong. Lots of fantastic properties on the market, lots of amazing areas that we didn't have 2 or 3 years ago, so much at the forefront. So I think for us and for Propertia, it's going to be extremely busy. For investors, as I said in my video, now's the perfect time to get involved if you haven't already.
I have a lot of customers contacting me saying, is it too late to invest in Bali, and is it a bubble?
Nope.
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 That's a clear answer.
No, but
Nope,
Bali's been a mainstream destination for the last more than 30 years. And I think despite the fact that areas continue to change, Bali will still be a global destination. There's so many plans for the island with infrastructure, connectivity, potential new airport, making it more easily accessible around the world, that I think for sure it's not a bubble, and it's not too late. It's just, yeah.
When you deal with customers, what areas are they looking, globally, what areas are they looking to purchase properties also?
I think globally?
Yeah.
Outside of Bali?
Yeah.
I think if you're looking around Asia, then we often get talked about alongside Koh Samui and Phuket. It's not so easy or cheap to invest in places like Singapore anymore. The cities that you invest in won't necessarily get the high occupancies. If you're looking further afield than Asia, then in Europe, the destinations like Spain, Portugal can be extremely expensive and very seasonal. So that's probably what sets Bali apart. If you're looking at the direct competition, which is probably Phuket or Koh Samui, again, probably not such a brand destination like Bali is.
Yeah, I agree. I follow these guys on YouTube who are selling properties in Tulum.
Yes.
And I realized how affordable Bali actually is compared to Tulum, where it's $500,000 to $1 million. You can get a very nice villa in Bali for $200,000. So if you're American, this is the time to purchase a villa in Bali.
Yeah.
Your USD
goes a very long way.
It goes a
in
very
Bali.
long way. So that's amazing.
16,300 today.
Yeah, it's the highest
dollar.
in 2.5 years almost.
Yep.
So come to Bali if you're American. We love Americans also.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, the predictions for 2025, of course, you and I, we have talked a lot about it. I think it's going to be more or less the same as 2024. The difference this time is properties are probably going to be a little bit more expensive because land prices, limited land, creates a sort of like a bottleneck, and we need more land to develop. But I see increasing prices in properties. How do you see this?
Yeah, land prices have continued to go up over the last 2.5 years. Some areas the land is starting to kind of cap off, but it's still very high at that cap. So we will see that has the most direct impact on the sales price of the villa. So we'll see prices continue to not go down, that's for sure. They're either going to maintain or go up a little bit more. And it's also what we spoke about last year with what were new areas this time last year, and now a little bit more known, like Bingin, where a year to 18 months ago we were saying Bingin was up and coming. Bingin is still booming, but it's already there. The prices are already there, where they're as high as Canggu, and that will keep the prices higher than they were in the past.
So for you guys who have not been to Bali before, Bingin is down south in the peninsula.
Yes,
right?
in the Bukit on the hill.
It's a very unique area. We feel, us has been living in Bali for a long time, that it feels a little bit what Canggu was 6 years ago. So there's a lot of very nice things going on in Bingin, and like I have said in a lot of our videos, there's a huge undersupply of villas, so we need to sell a lot more. I think price-wise, I would like to, because I keep getting these questions all the time from developers and customers. So, right, Joe, let's go through how much is a one-bedroom for a very good lease in the key areas of Bali? What should it be?
What should it be? So if you're looking at an area which would have good returns,
that's what we say.
High occupancy, good rental income, then it has to be within the Canggu area or within Bingin, Uluwatu area. If you want a one-bedroom villa in those areas to get the good returns, you're going to be looking between 179 to 229. $179,
you're lucky.
179, I know one project is that, but yeah, 179 would be the lower end of it, price-wise. Up to around 229 is probably the top.
And those villas, both 1, 2, we mainly sell 1 and 2 bedroom villas because they are very good as investments.
Yeah.
A 2-bedroom, same locations. You said 1 bedroom up to 229.
Yeah, I think 2 bedrooms probably 239 to 279 around that area.
289.
289 if it's nice. Good location.
Nice. Exactly.
Yeah.
So prices are based on ROI, especially for the smaller units that are 1 and 2 bedroom. It's a very easy calculation. Our investors are extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
So they know what they want.
I think
you can ask.
We have questions.
Well, we're live, so it doesn't matter.
We have questions already.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Fantastic.
should I start,
Yes.
You just go ahead.
Okay, so someone says, is it possible for a foreigner to legally own property in Bali? This is a question that we get a lot.
Yeah, we get that question all the time.
Yeah.
And what do the person mean by own? Because for us, a lease is ownership, right? So maybe this customer can just go a little bit deeper in what does it mean own.
So somebody says, answered the customer and
says,
that's
yes,
fantastic. Via leasehold up to 80 years. And then somebody else commented, what happens when your lease expires? So I think we can wrap up.
Already now there's a lot of confusion going on, I can hear in the truth. Okay, so basically, yes, you can own a property in Bali. You own it even though you lease it. At least if you're buying from Propertia.
Yes.
Propertia is only selling villas with an extension.
Yes.
So when your lease is up, a lot of people think, oh, I have to give back the villa to the landowner or something. That's not true. You need to look at your master lease agreement for the extension, and then you can extend at which price?
Market price.
Market price for what?
Land only.
Thank you, Joe. Market price, land only. The landowner cannot say, hey, you built a beautiful house on top of my land. I want extra for my land now. No. But market price, valuated by 3 independent real estate agents.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So check your master lease agreement. Owning a leasehold is not the same as owning a permanent, I would say, ownership like we see in many other countries, like Denmark, where I come from. It's different, but it feels like an ownership, and it is ownership. You can do whatever you want with the land and the building in your time period, and you should always be able to extend. Otherwise, it's a bad investment.
Yeah.
Good. You have more questions?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
So what is the minimum amount needed for a property in good location where rental is easy?
I think you just answered.
Yeah, but
rental is easy.
Where rental is easy, I think probably one of the things to consider is that when we first came to Canggu was one little road in the village. You had to be in the middle of it to really see any action. Now Canggu's turned into a global brand where a lot of the villages on the outside are part of it. The same in Bingin. Bingin is a small village, but you've got all the areas on the outside. Buying in those areas could still be a good investment, but maybe a different type of investment. So a lot of what we sell is the daily rental, where you get very high occupancies above 80%. Perhaps if people have less that they want to invest, then you would have to look on the outside of those areas. It doesn't mean it's a bad investment, but maybe it's a different type of investment where you would rent out monthly or yearly, which would still be extremely strong. But I would say for a good investment, at the moment, probably more than $150,000 to get something solid in the market.
150, you get a nice 1-bedroom with a decent lease.
A standalone villa, not an apartment.
Yeah, please. We do not sell apartments. Watch my YouTube video, please, and then I'll explain why. Standalone villa, decent lease, good ROI. It can be 10 to 12% as a minimum.
Yeah.
Our investors, for some of the more expensive properties, they're expecting more. And this is actually incredible, because I heard in Dubai it was 6 to 8. Tulum, it's also 6 to 8.
Yeah.
So Bali can, if you get the right advice from this guy, can give you a really, really good rental income, but you need to choose wisely. Yeah?
So the person who asked the first question is saying, how is leasing considering as owning? You should say you can rent or lease land, not own property. I think we need to make it clearer.
Yeah.
And how can a foreigner legally?
Yeah. Okay.
own
So
property?
I fully understand. Lease in many countries is the same as rent. For us, leasing a land and owning the property on top of it is the same as ownership in other countries. It's just a limited ownership with a certain typical 25 to 30 years. But the term, yes, because you need to extend afterwards. You need to extend the lease, as Joe said, at land value only. If you want to own the land, it's called freehold in English, SHM. Or you can also do it through a company, it's called HGB. That's a different mindset. We sell a few of them, every year. And that's the real ownership that is primarily Indonesians. You can actually own a freehold property through an Indonesian company if you change the title. It's complicated, but that's the fact. So, yeah, we consider it as an ownership. Leasing, we can go on forever and discuss this, but for us, it's like ownership.
Good. I think we can move on to a lot of area questions. So somebody wants to know, where will Bali develop next? The next area with new bars, resorts, etc. And then someone else wants your opinion on Cemagi.
Nice.
And then someone else says, what is the next hot zone in Uluwatu? Babakan, Thomas Beach, Nasi Beach.
Nice.
That was 3 questions in one.
Yeah. But I got good memory, so I will.
Okay, you answered
Areas,
the first one. Where was the first one? Cemagi, or what was it?
Where's the next area to develop?
Easy.
So, if we look at Bali a little bit more historically, then it's grown up the coast west away from the airport. So it went into Kuta, Legian, Seminyak, Canggu. When Canggu started, it was just a road through the village that the surfers went to, not much happening, and it's grown into this brand. So even now, Canggu's grown into all these different segments, which you have Barawa, Pererenan, Babakan, Tumbakbau, Padanan. Umalas has grown off of the back of Canggu, and people assume it will continue to work up the coast. After Pererenan, you have Pantai Lima, Sese. Sese is a beautiful place to live, maybe not necessarily the highest occupancy, so again, it depends on the purpose. Cemagi, Niani, and Kudungu, right? Naturally, you would think it will work its way towards that over time, but I don't think it's going to be quite as quick as the other areas, and that's primarily because of Uluwatu.
Do we have the Bali map in here still?
No.
We will try to find
Maybe.
the map.
So that's west up the coast.
Yeah. West up the coast, from
Seminyak,
Canggu up the coast.
Yeah. Would I buy in Sese, Cemagi, Niani, or Kudungu? Depends on the purpose. Because if it was primarily for investment, I would say no, it's too early. But you know, if I was looking for a beautiful place to live, then of course I think Sese, Cemagi are fantastic places. If I was looking to invest, wow.
Yeah, look at this.
Amazing.
Okay.
Beautiful detailed map.
I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna, this one.
Oh.
Yeah, good. This is Bali. Can you see it, Eric? Does it look good? Yeah. So what Joe is talking about, just a second. Big map. Hold that, Joe. Yeah. So here, Canggu, right?
Yeah.
Canggu here, and you're saying that people are moving up the coast here, right?
Historically, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
we're seeing the growth of the Bukit, Uluwatu,
Down
which
here?
is this big peninsula down in the south.
Yeah.
Bingin is the inception of that. That's where the best gyms, cafes, restaurants are.
And Bingin is
Bingin-
around here, somewhere.
No,
Right?
Bingin is up
over.
here.
Yeah, over here. Sorry,
Yes.
I was
Looking at it upside down.
Yeah, exactly. Over here, sort of like in the bay.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is the Indian Ocean, big ocean.
So you have Bingin, which is the inception. You've got
Down here.
fantastic gyms, cafes, etc. around there. And then now you are much like when Canggu grew, and Canggu grew first, and then Pererenan, Barawa grew around it. You're starting to see that other areas grow down in Uluwatu. So you have Nyang Nyang, which is just down in the south here.
Over here, yeah.
Yeah, you have Thomas Beach, Padang Padang, Balangan, Unggasan, all of these areas. If I was to say after Bingin, what is the safest bet? Most people, of course, would talk about Thomas Beach as an area because I think there's the most amount of cafes and restaurants there, but probably Nyang Nyang as the most growth over the next couple
Sorry
of
about
years.
the map. We know it's not ideal, but we
Yes.
wanted to show it to you.
So Nyang Nyang is just down here. I think that is the area that will grow a lot in the coming years. For sure, it's an area that has amazing infrastructure already. Cafes, gyms, etc. will open around there.
So why is, how far does it go up from Canggu? You said Pererenan, then you have Cemagi.
Sese,
What's
Cemagi.
going on? Why is it not continuing up the coast?
I think part of it is because of the growth down here.
Yeah.
Bali has launched this whole new area, which has become very interesting. I think part of it is just because of the distance between the villages going up the coast. So if you look at Kurungu is somewhere that a lot of people have talked about over the last couple of years, but the distance from, let's say, Chamagi and Niani through to Kurungu is actually quite big. It'll make it very hard for that area to grow off the back of another area. Whereas if you looked at Brawa in the past or Canggu, they were able to grow off the back of Seminyak because they were only a few minutes away. So,
cool.
Areas. I think that's answered all the area questions.
We can save the map here, over here. So
yes.
if we need it again. Yeah.
More questions? Lots of questions.
Are you putting a youth filter on Instagram?
Yes.
Thank you so much. That's really kind of you.
Okay.
Good.
So we have somebody on YouTube says, any specific comments on Kidungu? I'm looking mainly to live. Wait, oh, he's looking to live. Sorry, I couldn't understand his handwriting.
Yeah.
So this person is looking to for a place to live and wants to know if Kidungu might be it.
Yeah.
I mean, we just answered a little bit about it. For me, Bali's full of amazing areas. It depends where you buy, depends on the purpose. Like I said, if I was just investing my money for a strong daily rental return, then Kurungu probably wouldn't be the first place on my list. But if I was looking for a fantastic place to live, then I think it's beautiful.
Peace of
but
mind.
it depends what you want as well. It's a little bit disconnected from the other areas, so it's maybe not so many cafes or gyms around, supermarkets and things like that. But if you like a peaceful life and somewhere that's a bit quieter, Kurungu, Kabakaba, Chapaka are all places that would be amazing to live.
100% agree.
Yes.
It's a huge difference between investing and living. Choose wisely.
So I think today is very focused on the areas.
Yeah, we love it.
Would you recommend investing in a leasehold villa in Pererenan with the purpose of short-term rental as a business opportunity?
Yes.
Short answer.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a majority of what our clients are buying would be a leasehold anyway, because it's available to most nationalities and visa status. Pererenan was voted number 3 trendiest neighborhoods in the world.
In the world.
In the world.
Number one in
Asia. Probably for anybody, for people sat overseas, they may not have heard of it, but for anyone that lives here, they would say it's the nicest place. It has by far the best F&B, amazing shops, gym quality is just insane. So I think as an area it's fantastic, and if you're looking to invest in a daily rental area around Canggu, then it's as good as it gets, for sure. If you buy it from us.
Okay, and what about Ahmed and Chandidasa?
Oh.
And Pachatu?
Peter likes Chandidasa. Mangis.
Oh, yeah. I've been up north a lot. We were in Ahmed together also on a bike. Yeah, I think it's... The north of Bali is a little bit... It's beautiful. Very authentic. For me, the north of Bali is still a long way coming. I think it's all what you... I mean, Lovina is beautiful. Singaraja, Ahmed is famous for diving, right? It's not...
Lovina
so
is
every
famous
area
for,
has a lot of different things. Lovina for dolphins.
Lovina for dolphins. I've been to Tejakula, which is fantastic.
That was amazing.
These areas are amazing, but again, it depends on the purpose. You are in the middle of nowhere.
I like to choose my coffee in the morning, which one do I want. That you cannot do that in Tejakula.
No. And we'll see what happens with Bali in the future. There is talk of this North Bali airport, but it's also been talked about for a long time. So maybe a long time in the distant future,
we need one
it will
in
become.
The north,
but
let's see what happens.
Again, if it was an investment, it wouldn't necessarily be where we would go.
For living, I sold a few properties in Lovina in the past, and people felt very isolated up there. They got a beachfront for very little money, $400,000 or $500,000. They had staff, big villa, 1,000 square meter land, but they felt very isolated. So you need to think about also when you go up there, where are your friends? What kind of network do you have? or you know, do I speak the language? There's so many things besides just getting a beachfront. So yeah.
Any other areas?
Yes, any other areas. So
Kintamani, Sidaman.
is there many people holidaying in Nyang Nyang right now, and what is the current occupancy rate there?
Thank you for asking all these great questions. Nyang Nyang, I was there the other day. A lot of construction going on. We think, I just talked to a developer yesterday, we think it's going to be big in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
We still need a little bit of restaurants, cafes, but the driving distance to Binging and Uluwatu is so short, so I think most people living in Nyang Nyang, they go down there.
Yeah.
But it will happen for sure. The beach is absolutely beautiful. I've been down there a few times, and you can drive all the way down. You don't have to take the steps down.
What about Pechatu?
Pechatu. It's coming now, huh?
I think over the last 2 to 3 years, Bingin's been, again, it's been the inception of everything. So that's, you have amazing cafes around there. The gyms, bamboo fitness, places like that are just becoming a hub of everything. But Bingin's also very expensive to be a developer in. So a lot of people are looking on the outskirts. And it's a little bit like this area where you could be connected to Canggu, and I think the same will happen down there. Bingin's the hub, but you can be in Nyang Nyang, you could be Sulaban, places like that, and still be connected
so
to
you
it.
have 2 villages in the middle of the Bukit area. It's called Ungasan and it's called Pechatu. Pechatu is more authentic, it's more original Bali. Ungasan is a little bit more mixed. But every time I drive past the cafe called Nourish in I would say it's between Ungasan and Pechatu, it's full.
Yeah.
So with expats. So there's a lot of people living in that area, but it's not the same as is for daily rental, the same investment as in Bing. Tourists, they like to be close to the water. Pechatu is more inland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to do a proper video of
Yeah.
the areas because
We will do an
people
area
are going
video.
crazy. So what about investing in Sidaman, Munduk area, Babakan over Pererenan? What are your thoughts?
Oh.
Thoughts on Buit, Balangan?
Okay.
So
Nice,
we
all the
live in the house
bees.
of Bali.
Yeah, okay. We can start with the easy one because that's in the area we're sat in. Babakan versus Pererenan is easy, right?
Yeah, Babakan.
Babakan.
Why?
For me, so actually, if we had the map,
Yeah.
you would say
Where's the
you
map?
have Barawa, Canggu, Pererenan, and just above each of them, you've got Pererenan, Babakan, Sumbat Bayu. Okay.
Can you hold this on?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
It doesn't show any of these places.
No,
but
no, it's okay. But we have Canggu here, and then we have a little bit. We have Raya Canggu going here, so we have Pererenan probably over here.
Yeah.
Babakan next to it. So yeah, very easy access to Canggu.
Yeah, Babakan is a straight shot into Canggu. You can drive straight down into Batu Belong, which is the main road. Pererenan is probably an area that is a little bit more industrial, I would say. It's had the traffic that's gone through on the roads up to Ubud for a long time. And yeah, it's maybe a little bit more industrial. Babakan was very untouched for a long time, so there's still a lot of green around there. Maybe a little bit more charming.
It's very mixed in Pererenan, right? It's like you go and then you see a factory on the right, and then you see a nice villa on the left.
Yeah.
And Babakan is more villas only, residential. So I think Babakan for me can be more expensive than Pererenan.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the question.
Sidaman. I mean, incredible places, right? I've been to Sidaman and it's beautiful. We don't have any villas for sale there right now yet, but I don't doubt that in the future, down the line, Sidaman, Munduk could be different style investments. Yeah.
Sidaman. So we
inland, very inland.
You probably all heard about Ubud. So we have Ubud. And next to it we have a little bit southeast, we have Sidaman. So we are around here, right? Something, isn't it true? Yeah, just somewhere at the foot of right here. I've been to Sidaman a few times. I made videos. It is probably one of the most beautiful places on the earth. It is absolutely insane. We did some hiking also there.
Did we?
During the cruise? Yeah, we did. Did we? Short-term memory. But
My computer.
yeah. No. Cinnamon. It's agriculture. All land is more or less agriculture. I was up there. There was a guy who wanted to build a hotel there for a health retreat. In the foot of Mount Agung. 2 rivers. Beautiful. It's amazing. But it's for me 10, 20 years. And I don't think I'm in real estate in 10 to 20 years. No, don't think so. Good.
Very federalist.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of the rise of long-term rental price for yearly rental, and can it compete with daily rental?
Yeah, I personally, I'm a big fan of monthly and yearly rental as well, and I think that's changed a lot in Bali over the last 3 or 4 years because it's become this hub for digital nomads, people that can work remotely, people relocating from around the world, or even as close as Singapore, Hong Kong, Shanghai. What that's done is bring more people in longer term who are wealthy, have longer term budgets in mind, and are looking for nice places to stay, much like they would find if they were in a city or in Dubai or places like that. And for that reason, I think the long-term market is also very good.
What's the typical ROI on a long-term? Monthly, yearly?
It's going to be a little bit less than your daily.
Of course. Less stress and less expenses.
So, but it's important to note, of course, your daily is going to be higher, assuming that you have a higher occupancy. Yeah. If, like I said, you're in an area that is maybe just on the outskirts of Canggu, where your occupancy might be a little bit lower, then I think it will be very comparable to look at a monthly option or a yearly option. Less headaches, less fees. So
like
very good. Monthly
like
is fantastic. And you get a lot of people that come here, they live in Dubai for 6 months and then they come to Bali for 6 months, or they can move around the world with their job. And their expectations are probably higher than a guest house now. It's more of a 1-2 bedroom villa. So
I think the customer is asking for the ROI percentages. I did the numbers for some projects. We were looking at ROI between 8, maximum 10 for monthly, where daily would be more like 13, 15. But it's a choice you make, because there's of course a lot more work in doing daily, a lot more expenses. Yeah. The upkeep is much higher on a daily rental. So yeah, fantastic question.
Would you rather invest into a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom when it comes for investment?
I love these customers.
Good
Thank
question.
you guys, you're amazing. Fantastic questions, because this is what we deal with on a daily basis. Tell me 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom?
It's a good question. If you ask the management companies, their answer to you will be that if it's a 1-bedroom, they will pretty much always take it, because the demand is so high on a 1-bedroom that it almost doesn't matter what it looks like for them, because they just need the inventory. If it's a 2-bedroom, they can afford to be a little bit more choosy, but a lot of our clients buy 2 bedrooms because of their own circumstances. Maybe they want to stay in it when they come here, maybe they have a family, something like that. So both are extremely good. I think it's worth noting that on average, a 2-bedroom versus a 1-bedroom, you will pay $50,000 more ish, give or take, depending on the area and size. I do think that can be beneficial to you, but I also think that the 1-bedroom is the easiest product to occupy when it comes to daily rental in Bali.
Yeah.
Both are good.
Both are good.
Both are good.
But one is best.
Yes.
Yeah. And why is that?
High occupancy.
Yeah. Because
very high
Bali
occupancy.
is changing. We see a lot of single people and a lot of couples coming. It's,
Sorry, singles.
Single culture.
Sorry, single people.
Oh, single people. No, but it's just changing, right? When you fly into Bali, you know, when you sit in the airplane.
I think when I first came to Bali, I felt surrounded with, I was a broke backpacker
Yeah.
when I first came to Bali,
Yeah.
and your budget was $10 a night to
Were you
stay in a
single?
guest house. I was. But if you look at the current market, you see a lot of singles and couples come in.
Yeah.
Again, it's people that can work remotely, that have good incomes, and their expectations
Yeah.
are much higher. So one bedrooms are the easiest
Yeah.
to occupy.
Sounds like an ad for Tinder or Bumble or something.
We are both taken. Sorry.
If you want
I'm
a one,
married.
That was not the question.
if you want a one bedroom, swipe right.
I 100% agree with Joe. Buy one bedroom. That's
Yes.
definitely a safe investment.
All right. Apparently, in the Netherlands, there is a lot of talk about Lombok.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts about Lombok?
Well, these customers are. Yeah. Lombok, we've been there, right? Well, you know that. I would say, wow, it's beautiful. As an investment, I would not do it yet. It's too early. Lombok is not as charming, and the culture is very different. In Bali, we have Hindus, and in Lombok, we have Muslims, and nothing wrong with Muslims. But Lombok has always been able to sort of manage without tourism, and you can really feel it when you get there, where Bali has always been a tourist destination. People are very different, but I would say Lombok, certain places, is as beautiful as Bali.
Yeah. I also think accessibility, if you look at Bali, is well connected
Yeah.
to the world. You can fly from anywhere in the world and get to Bali quite easily.
Yeah.
Lombok maybe is a little bit more difficult. There'll be less flights that go in, smaller airport, less connectivity. So if you're looking at attracting a lot of tourists to your rental property, it's not going to be as high occupancy as Bali.
We were in Lombok. Romat, who's sitting next to me, we were standing in the main street, Kuta. Romat, that was a different experience, right?
Less
said
people.
Yes. Less people. I love Lombok, but as an investment, which is primarily what we sell, I wouldn't do it. Some of the beautiful cicada villas, what is the other one called? Super big $1 million
Tampa Hills, beautiful, but
I mean, insane
Yeah.
experience. But yeah, invest in Bali for now. That's for sure.
If you want high RI.
yes.
Yeah, but
If you
even,
don't, then
you know, even if you went for living, it's a little bit like moving to Kidungo. If you went for living, Lombok could be a good place.
Yeah.
Again, what do I get in Lombok? You were there.
You cannot choose your coffee.
You get probably the best burger.
You do.
Good. So.
All right. So what would, this is very specific. What
Yeah.
would a 3-4 bedroom high quality villa on a 25-30-year lease cost within 1 kilometer to Pererenan Beach?
Sounds like a developer.
How am I going to price my property?
A 3 to 4 bedroom villa. 3 to 4 bedroom.
3 to 4 bedroom villa, high
Yeah.
quality.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm assuming high, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Good spec.
yeah. 25 to 30.
How big is the land?
lease. They don't specify.
Oh.
You can always build up on a very small
But-
piece of land.
But it would have to be within 1 kilometer from Pererenan.
That's a nice location.
Turn back by
No, 1 kilometer.
No, 1 kilometer.
to Pererenan, to the beach.
The beach.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I thought
don't
just
know.
to Pererenan.
Ideally, the price should be $800,000 if the lease is reasonable and it's a beautiful family home with high specs. That means good quality built, but sitting on a generous piece of land of 400 to 500 square meters, 4 to 5 area. But it will probably be listed at 1.2 million.
By the other ones.
Everyone wants to listen to 1.2.
How's the wind today?
There's some villas that are worth $1.2 million, others are not. But yeah, that's what I would price it at, between 800 and $1 million.
Okay, some YouTube questions.
Yep.
Will the proposed toll road from Mengwi to Jakarta, Kerti Bali Toll Road, have any effect on the future building up the coast going northwest?
Yeah, I sold a little bit in Tabanan up north, Balian Beach and so on. And we always talked about this toll road connecting with the Gilimanuk main road. I don't know if it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, yeah, it will take 5 to 10 years before the road is finished in Indonesia, and then hopefully it will. When you from Tabanan to Gilimanuk, it's actually just a highway. I think Eric has been driving it a lot, so it's not a charming, trip, but I think it will definitely change the perception of how fast they can go to these places. But Bali is beautiful, and all the way up the coast there is so many beautiful places, and it doesn't have to be Canggu or Uluwatu, but let them build the toll road first, and then we talk afterwards. It's a little bit like the airport, right?
Yes.
What do you think the investment trends in 2025 will be?
Investment trends? What we see already now, and we are only 4 weeks in, investors buying 1 and 2 bedroom villas. I know there's a lot of family homes being sold as well, but what I have been informed is it's easier to do investment for daily rental than it is to move your whole family to Bali, even though a lot of people should, because the freedom is amazing. But that's the trend. Investing in hospitality in Bali. That's the trend, overall trend, like 2024.
Yes.
I think somebody finds us really nice to work with because he's asking for a job, if we have any job openings.
We always have job openings. If you have certain skills, we always have job openings. If you are better than this guy, you can definitely get a job.
Hard.
Easily done.
Just kidding. No, just apply. That's perfect. We are growing in a steady pace because I'm surrounded with amazing colleagues, and Bali is a beautiful place. So all these things coming together, that's amazing.
Do you not expect the occupancy rate to drop with so many new properties coming on the market and the number of visitors not increasing as rapidly year on year?
These questions are amazing. I tell you my opinion, then Joe can tell his opinion afterwards. My opinion is if you buy a new beautiful villa from Propertia, of course, then you have a very high occupancy. The market is going to be split now. Split in the way that 10, 20-year-old properties, they will lose in rental income. We can see it already now. They're dropping in occupancy because there's a trend, there is a market shift now, 100%. So no, there will be some people who have an older villa, and like everything else in life, you have to develop. But these guys will be the losers, sorry. And the new villas are, because the customers are tourists, they are very demanding now, right?
Yeah.
I met one of them and she said, yeah, my villa should have 3 to 4 Instagrammable corners in kitchen, garden, pool, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, market is changing and you need to be aware of this.
Speaking of which, what kind of architectural designs do people usually like?
You know that. What do they like?
Mediterranean.
There's a developer behind that question.
Yeah.
What would you build in 2025?
I think, there are some incredible
Wood houses.
Japan.
Yeah. There are some incredible, very architectural villas in Bali. Some amazing architects that have been involved in projects here. But for the market that most of our clients are investing in, I don't think it's necessary to have an architectural masterpiece, more of a very good design, finish, Instagrammable villa, right? So if you look in the market, some of the most successful villas are a square on 2 floors, very simple designs and layouts, but finished very, very well. And for most of the success they have, it's because it's very Instagrammable, has these 4 corners for pictures and things like that. So I don't think you'll find a huge amount of very architectural small villas in Bali outside of the big 5 and 6 bedroom villas. But for a good investment, I don't think it's necessary either.
Well, we had a lot of Mediterranean villas, right?
Style-wise, we've had a lot of Mediterranean, Japandi, Tulum inspired, although apparently everyone in Tulum calls it Bali inspired.
Yeah.
And
it's the
just
opposite, right?
Yeah.
Even in Greece, they have Bali style.
Yeah.
So,
The styles are adapting. They're constantly adapting. They follow trends.
Yeah. Nice. A good question.
Can the landowner deny building an access road after I bought a piece of land?
No. But hire a good notary. If you buy land, then you need a notary to legalize and notarize the transaction. Part of that should include a road access agreement. If you do not have a road access agreement, then do not buy the land.
Yeah, 100% agree. But it sounded a little bit like, can a landowner deny access road after I purchased the land? It should be a part of your due diligence that you have access. Very often we see one landowner having a beautiful plot at the end, and he actually needs the favor from another landowner to give the access road. It has to be done as a part of your due diligence, please. Yeah?
Okay, so a lot of, do you want to do controversial or management?
Controversial.
I'll do management.
That will wake us up. Yes.
What do you think about the Park Q closure?
Well, hey, this is my company. I can say whatever I want. I think it's fantastic. These guys, they disrespected totally the law. And it's not about their nationality or anything, but you do not build in green zone deliberately without permits and just ignore the authorities in Bali. That's disrespectful, unprofessional. It's just my opinion, personal opinion. But hopefully they will fix it. But I don't think, when I heard about it the first time and saw it afterwards, I said, this does not belong in Ubud. I'm sorry, but that's just my personal opinion. I think anyone building in Bali should respect the law and look into where can I actually build, because we have green zones, protected areas. I think Wayan Costa, the new governor, he's very focused on this, right? Hopefully we have someone called Satpol who will check and they will close down the different things. But that was just my personal opinion. What do you think about it, Joe?
I believe that if you build in Bali and you want to operate a business or a villa or whatever, then you should have the correct permits.
He's just a polite
I'm a
Englishman.
very PC, don't want to upset anyone. But
No.
the permits are available and there's a process there to follow to get those permits if you want to. If
Hopefully
you don't,
they will fix it, but let's see.
Hopefully not with money.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people on site yesterday. I don't think there's a lot of attention going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, for investment, is there a management in place that would take care of the property, as in cleaning, getting it ready for the next guest, maintenance, and any kind that would be needed? And someone bounces on that and says, it's another issue in Bali. I've seen friends who struggle to find reliable staff who handles the rentals.
Wow.
Yeah, so some projects will have management which is already in place when you're buying the project, and some will not have it, and then you will need to find a management company. I wouldn't say that we specifically recommend anybody, but we have worked with some over the years who we find a little bit easier for clients to work with. It's definitely an issue for them to make sure they have the right staff in place, qualified staff, but your management is everything for sure. If you have the wrong management, then it will be the wrong investment. But there are some very, very good management companies here, ones that are extremely experienced, ones that have been around for a good amount of time, and that would certainly be where we would guide you. But of course, if you get the wrong management, then it won't be a good investment.
Your occupancy might be a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
But there are lots of good ones.
We would like to add also here, this is exactly why we sell a lot of these 1 and 2 bedroom villas. You don't even have to be here. You can buy overseas. You can give Joe a POA and sign the villa. When you get the keys, you still don't have to be here. You can give the keys to the management, so it can be a passive income. You might, we have customers that have not seen their villas yet, and maybe it's 6-12 months into the rental.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So it's an investment for a lot of people. Yeah.
Cool. Last few questions
Yeah.
because
What
we
time
only
is
have
it?
10 minutes.
10 minutes left?
Yes. Would the installment of solar panels be a viable option here in Bali? Is it popular on your villas?
I still don't get why we don't have any. We should have more solar panels, right? But we don't see that often, right? I think they're quite expensive to install, and they're also quite expensive to maintain.
Yeah.
And that's the general problem, because you are able to run a whole house actually on solar panels.
Yeah.
I think the electricity, but if you ask as a developer, I would not recommend to install it, even though sustainability is very important. It's simply not worth it. Yeah.
Okay.
More questions?
More questions.
Oh.
What's your view about inflation of wages from workers?
Workers building or workers in general in Bali?
Okay, he re-announced. I see cleaner prices go up from 3.5 mil to 5 mil because restaurants are giving 7 to 10 mil.
Yeah. So this very often happens because we are on an island. We have limited resources, and when it comes to labor, there's limited labor also. I feel it also when going around on the cafes, that the quality of the service drops if you're not paying your staff or your colleagues the money that they deserve. So inflation, I don't think Indonesians have been hit so much by inflation. I know 1 liter of gasoline used to be 8,500 rupiah or something, and now it's 12.5. But food prices have gone up, but we not in the same way as you just been back in the UK, and you were crying when you came back.
Yeah. Very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive.
So I think salaries have gone up. The minimum wage has gone up in this area as well. I think we're adjusting. Indonesians are, if you want good Indonesian colleagues, you need to pay for them. Right, Roman?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Okay, some questions from YouTube. Where is the best area for families to live that have 3 to 5 kids and are used to space like 2,000 to 6,000 square meters?
6,000 square meters. That's nice.
6,000?
6,000. That's big.
That's 60 area?
Yeah. That's nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Where are the best
3
areas?
to 5 kids, I would probably say Babakan, Pererenan.
60 hours hard to find. Tumbak Bayu.
We would love to help you find the land, but I don't think Tumbak Bayu, because of easy access to green school, if you want to put your kids there. It's funny in Bali, the schools are split. CCS, green school, it's either way, right?
Yeah.
You either stay around this area, Pererenan,
or you go to
or you go in.
Ubud.
Yeah. So I would definitely say also to have this parent community. Pererenan is the place to be, but you will not get a piece of land that size anymore.
Yeah.
And someone wants advice to get a landowner to extend because he wants to wait 8 to 10 years. I want to explore selling now, but only have 17 years lease.
Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly why your master lease agreement always have to be worded correctly. If your lease would have said that you can extend anytime, then it would. But you cannot force Balinese people, because in their belief, believe it's a generational thing, right?
Yeah.
He's probably waiting for his next generation, and they have a strong belief that land prices will only go one way, and that's up. So don't push too hard. My best advice is have a good friendly relationship with your landowner, and one day they will knock on your door and say, we need a big ceremony, someone died in our family, my daughter is going to university in Jakarta, a lot of things cost money, right?
I think one thing I try to explain to my clients who are buyers is that owning and leasing out your land can be a primary source of income for a lot of these families, and the largest income that they can get as well. Doesn't mean that they will always want to do the extension, but there will come a time where they will want to do it because that is the largest income they can get at that time, and the easiest probably. So again, it's about keeping that relationship, letting the owner know that you are ready when they are ready, and it will happen.
We had a lot of customers who were trying to push the landowners to extend. Never really worked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to mention, so if you're about to lease a piece of land, make sure, because at that time the landowner really needs your money, for sure. Make sure your lease agreement says extension can be done anytime, right? Because this is super important, not 3 months before expiry, 6 months before expiry or something, anytime.
Yeah.
That word makes a difference, and the landowner needs to understand it as well. Yeah.
And can we do one more time, can a foreigner actually own land in Indonesia? Because there's a few people who came after the first question.
Yeah.
So they are asking that. And I have a very specific one that says, I was offered to buy a piece of land, $20,000 Australian dollars, the ARA, but a minimum 20 ARA need to be bought at once. Thoughts?
$20,000, that's 180 million per ARA. Buying a land? Sounds cheap.
Where is it?
Yeah. Doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
Ubered
Listen,
somewhere.
very easy. Yes, you can own a land, but you need to set up an Indonesian company called a PTPMA. Then the ownership will change from SHM, which is the normal title for Indonesians, into HGB, and now it's going to be almost a little bit like a cartoon, Haguna Bagunan.
Yes.
Sounds crazy, but it is. And that is actually an agreement you make with the government where you own the freehold, but now it's getting really complicated. A little bit lease term. What is it? 30, 20,
30 years. It's basically like a very long lease with the government.
With the government,
With
which
the government,
is very different.
that can be extended in the
And
future.
with a small fee to the government when you're extending. But it's considered, and you can change it back to freehold, which is very, so we have foreigners owning land, HGB, and they want to sell to an Indonesian, changing it into SHM, and it's possible. So it's definitely, it's a lot of paperwork, takes around 4 to 6 months.
Yes.
But it's definitely doable.
The land is in Pererenan, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah, no, nice. But listen, I also heard people buying in Lombok freehold
Yeah.
without, privately,
Yeah.
with a nominee.
Don't do it.
Exactly. Please do not buy with a nominee. If you're Indonesian married, you need to know that it's going to be your wife on the certificate. It's your choice if you want to do that.
Make sure you trust your wife.
Jesus.
That's true.
Or husband.
Yeah.
Okay, from the same
Yeah,
person
could be husband.
that has the 3 and 5 kids and wants a big lot. Are there any gated communities in Bali and any areas with little less density?
There are a few gated communities, but it's not really a big thing. That's why we like Pererenan so much for families, because all the villas are, it feels a little bit like driving into a community as well, Pererenan. No, if you're a family, buy in the right location, Pererenan, Sessa could be an option as well for families,
Yeah.
where the kids can be on the street and you don't have to worry so much. But I would not buy a big piece of land as a family. If you can find it in Canggu, it's a little bit too touristic.
Yeah.
You need to go for more residential. Pererenan, Sessa, yeah, that's probably right.
Tumba Bayu.
Tumba Bayu, yeah.
Okay, one last one, or
Oh,
should we-
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tumba Bayu, Joe is right. It's just north of Pererenan, so that's why a lot of
Yeah.
families are buying Tumba Bayu.
Okay, let's wrap it up with a little controversial one.
Oof.
Not too much.
Okay.
What do you, is there any future plans for traffic, road improvements in Bali? I was there last year and traffic was crazy. Yes, welcome to
It's not so controversial. If you watched my Q3, Q4 2024 videos, then you would know all of this. There is the light railway network, which is in the inception, which would link, theoretically, if and when it happens, it would link the airport through to Kuta Seminyak Canggu all the way to Tremagi. The plan is that in the future it would also go to the other direction, Sanur, Nusa Dua, and then eventually down to Uluwatu as well.
It's a very good plan.
It's a very good plan. The contract was
Signed with some Chinese, right?
yeah. No, that was the airport.
Oh, that was the
Should happen, but let's see how it
I
progresses
would like
over
to
this
just
year.
chip in saying in Copenhagen they've been digging for the last 15 years. That's Scandinavian efficiency. I don't know, Indonesia. Let's see if it's going to happen.
But you only have a 4-day working week in Denmark, so that's why it's taking so long.
Yeah, it's true.
But there are plans in place and there are a lot of new roads, and I think what I realise being here is that a lot of these things can be talked about for a long time, but when they do happen, they happen very quickly. And we've seen that with new roads around Canggu that you didn't even really know were happening, and then suddenly next day it was open. So there's definitely plans in place for it, and it will get better. But
I had a customer a few weeks ago who said this happens everywhere, right?
yeah,
New York, Jakarta, doesn't matter where you go. Singapore, there's traffic. What is it called?
congestion. Yeah, I lived in London for a while, and I could live 3 kilometers from the city and spend 4 hours getting to work in some situations. So I think it's the same
Embrace
anywhere.
it. Sun is shining.
Or walk.
People are smiling.
Walk. We have new sidewalks everywhere.
You're
They're
sitting on
beautiful.
your scooter.
That's
You know,
terrible advice.
we already forgot it. Freedom is sitting on your scooter.
Walking.
Walking.
Just watch out for the Bali dogs.
Good.
Okay, last
Any
one,
questions
because,
about apartments?
somebody said just like don't buy apartments with a big
Oh,
house.
thank you so much. I agree.
Okay, last one. It's a good one. Better buy a finished villa or build it yourself.
Don't build yourself.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. I think you whispered it.
I've answered this to a lot of my clients over the years, and I'm quite honest with how I answer it. I believe that if you live here and your dream is to build a Bali villa, that it is an extremely exciting place to do it. You can pretty much build anything for a fraction of the cost that you can overseas, and it's can be an incredible experience, but it is one that comes with a lot of headaches and a lot of stress. I would 100% not recommend building if you are not permanently based on the island. That's definite. I think unless you speak the language, it will be extremely tough and not something that I would advise people to get into, having been through the process. Therefore, I would either buy a finished villa, or like a lot of the market is now, buy an off-plan villa and let somebody else
Customize it a little bit.
let somebody else take the headaches. That's what they get paid to do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of people think it's easy. They look at the developers who are successful with Propertia and they say, yeah, it looks easy. Let's do it ourselves. Trust me, it's not easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any more for
Any more questions?
No.
How long have we been running now?
1 hour, 5 minutes.
Okay,
Somebody
Joe
just,
needs to go.
Thank us, and David, we'll see you in March.
I love
we go.
David already.
And thank
love
us.
to see
Thank you.
customers.
Thank everyone.
Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. Guys, just remember to give us a thumbs up on YouTube and comment. And yeah.
We will see you again.
We will see you in the next one. Thank you, guys. See you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.